Chapter 5. A Girl's Best Friend. I arrived at the school early. The first day of high school at UA was an exciting prospect. I had been spending a lot of my free time between the entrance exam and now with the other Fated, as well as Bakugo and Midoriya. The Fated and I had a chance to be relatively normal teenagers together for once. Bakugo and Midoriya integrated into the group almost seamlessly. Bakugo loved having more people who were especially competent with their perks already to challenge himself against, and Deku loved the group energy and their encouragement for him to continue working on tactics and anti-quirk combat. The group was already at the front gate when Bakugo, Midoriya, and I crested the hill that would bring us to the school. We increased our pace to close the distance faster and greeted everyone. "First day to show them what we've got," Alan smirked. T-Priya grinned. "Oh please. You've got nothing on me, but I'll tell you what. When I go pro before you, I'll let you be my sidekick. You losers can all get in line," Bakugo barked. "I'll be the one to become the first pro here." Serena rolled her eyes. "That's years away. I'm more curious about the rumors I've been hearing from the other students." That piqued my interest. I looked up at Serena, my curiosity obvious. What might those rumors be? Serena's lips thinned into a smile she reserved when she had some information no one else did. "Apparently they're letting a student into our class who was a villain." "Some kind of heteromorph." "A villain?" Seven asked. "Is it some kind of second chance program?" "If it were," T-Priya jabbed, "you should definitely apply." Seven narrowed his eyes drolly. "Shut up." Alan put an arm around Serena's shoulder and leaned in. "What else did you hear?" One of Serena's octopus tentacles grabbed Alan's arm and flipped it from her shoulder. "Only that they're supposed to be in our class. So the sooner we get to one, the sooner we'll find out if the rumors hold water." "What are we waiting for then?" I asked excitedly. "If it's a villain, it could be Shuichi." "I don't think I've heard of that villain before," Deku mused as he moved with the group. I winced internally as I realized I was dropping names of people who hadn't made moves yet in the story and looked back at him. "Just a guy who got caught robbing a few stores. I saw it in a news article." We made our way through the halls, passing through other groups of excited students and staff. When we arrived at Class 1A, I couldn't help but pause and look at the door. It was massive, at least 15 feet tall and as wide as All Might. I recalled the first day scene when Midoriya arrived, and the exaggerated door size was used to dramatic effect in order to convey his anxiety. But this surprised me. I looked at the others. "That's a big door. What door isn't to you?" Alan smirked. "I could literally atomize you right now," I said dryly. "You know that, right?" Alan snickered. "You could. But who would ogle you and give you that ego boost constantly?" "I would," a voice replied behind us. We all turned around to see Mineta standing there, grinning up at Alan. "Look who it is," Mineta said with a droll tone. "Mr. Second Place." Before Alan could bite back a counter, I stepped forward and put on my Dami expression. I bent forward and purred at Mineta, placing a finger under his chin so the nail pressed against his skin. "I heard you got first place in your exam. You made Mommy so proud. Such a good boy. And as promised, here's your reward." I eased my down just a bit, tucked it into the crook of his neck, and let out a slow exhale of hot breath against his neck. I could see the goosebumps rise on his skin as I straightened up and smirked down at him. His expression was one of overstimulated rapture. I hummed deeply. "You keep that kind of performance up, and the rewards will only get better." As Mineta flustered over the promise, I turned and walked into the classroom. I could hear Alan behind me muttering something about killing this new rival. Before I could pass through the door, it opened on its own, and Tenya Ida stood in the doorway, his face serious and his posture rigid. "Stop lollygagging in the hallway," he said imperiously, his glasses catching the light and sending a dramatic flare with his words. "It's nearly time for class to begin. Take your seats." I could help but let out a little giggle, being on the receiving end of his admonishment. "You're definitely class rep material. I'm Merida, by the way, Merida O'Dum." He smiled respectfully. "Tenya Ida, and I thank you for the compliment." I gave him a nod as I passed and led the rest of the group inside. Sitting around in desks, I saw Urafraka, Kirishima, Kaminari, Jiro, Tokoyami, Todoroki, and Yaoyorozu. That left one more desk empty, then I spotted it. It was more of a large conference table than a desk. It was placed at the back of the room, and I could only imagine the size of the student that would sit there. I took a seat at the front of the class next to Yayorozu. The others found spots they were more comfortable with. A minute later, the class bell rang and the door opened to reveal Mr. Aizawa standing in his yellow sleeping bag, his bloodshot eyes and long black hair, making him seem like a corpse that was poking its head out of a coffin. He moved to the front of the class and stared at all of us. "Good morning, Class 1, he began. "My name is Mr. Aizawa. My hero name is Eraserhead. I'll be your homeroom teacher. Now, before we begin, I have to introduce the last member of the class. Like one of the other students in this class, he was required to take his exams away from other students. As a precaution, I want you to prepare yourselves. He is a heteromorph, and a big one at that. He may look dangerous, but he's actually very well-mannered and polite. I'll give you a moment to compose yourselves." Every member of Class 1 looked around at each other, as if seeking some information about the identity of the other student. After several moments, Aizawa called the class back to order. "That's enough," he called out. "Now settle down and keep your responses respectful." He turned to the door. "Come on in." The door opened and the collective student body of Class 1 leaned forward in anticipation. Then, with perfect surprise timing, All Might burst through the door with his trademark smile. "I am here," he shouted. Coming through the door like a hero, Aizawa sighed. "All Might, so good to see you. And my new student would be where?" All Might laughed and gave Aizawa a stiff-handed wave. "Greetings, Eraserhead. And hello to you, Class 1. I am here to escort your classmate to his first day." He stepped into the classroom, placed his fists on his hips and motioned to the door. "All right, you don't have to be shy. Big guy, come on in." After a few agonizing moments, the sound of a deep, heavy footstep clapped against the tile floor, followed by another, then another. Then, the reason for the size of Class 1A's massive door was revealed. A massive lizard-like form turned sideways to slip through the door's confines. The door itself was nearly 12 feet tall, and the heteromorph had to duck his head a few feet just to enter. When he'd cleared the door and stood up to his full 14-foot height, my eyes lit up with excitement. I burst out of my seat even as Mr. Aizawa started to introduce the student. My face was bright with joy as I cleared the distance between myself and the massive student in a flash, shouting, "Mayroon." I leapt up into the air and trusted him to catch me. He pulled me into his chest and crushed me in a powerful hug. "Merida." The other fated jumped from their desks, exclaiming the excitement as they rushed to greet him. He was the mirror image of his Deathclaw self from the Fallout universe, except he was stuffed inside a UA student uniform. He tasseled my hair and greeted the others as they gathered around him and expressed their excitement at seeing him. Aizawa hummed in subdued interest. "Well, it seems I didn't have to worry about you all freaking out that much. After all, I take it you all know each other." I looked back at Aizawa with a wide smile from Mayroon's hold on me. "He's a friend of ours we haven't seen in a long time." All Might grinned and laughed. "Well, good to see everyone getting along. I'll take my leave for now. Good luck with classes, kids." He slipped around our group and left. Once All Might have taken his leave, Aizawa unzipped his sleeping bag, stepped out, and took a moment to put some eye drops into his eyes. "Right, that's enough with the reunion." He walked over to a closet and opened it up, revealing gym uniforms. "I want everyone to put these on, then meet me in the track field. We're doing a practical exam." The class quickly changed into the gym uniforms, and as we headed out to the track field, the fated all clumped together, along with Midoriya and Bakugo. Mayroon let me sit on his shoulder while he walked. During the walk, we did some quick catching up, discussing where we had grown up, how we had gotten to UA, and what we wanted to accomplish while we were here. Mayroon had an understandably difficult childhood, growing up looking the way he did, and being as big as he was at any given age. Even now, he was nearly back to his full 14 feet height, as he had been in the wasteland. As we gathered together, Urorika gave her canon protest about missing the opening orientation ceremony. Aizawa scoffed. "If you really want to make the big leagues, you can't waste time on pointless ceremonies. Here at UA, we're not tethered to traditions. That means I get to run my class however I see fit." He turned and smirked at us. "You've been taking standardized tests most of your lives, but you never got to use your quirks in physical exams before." The country is still trying to pretend we're all created equal by not letting those with power go all out. It's not rational. He looked at Bakugo. What was your furthest distance throw with a softball in junior high? Bakugo shrugged. 67 meters. Try doing it with your quirk, Aizawa replied as he tossed Bakugo a modified baseball that would measure the distance it was thrown. Bakugo grinned excitedly and threw the ball, releasing a powerful but controlled explosion behind it. Aizawa watched the distance calculator before showing it to the rest of the class to show 792.7 meters. So, this looks fun, huh? Aizawa asked as the class grew excited over the results of Bakugo's throw. You have 3 years here to become a hero. You think it's all going to be games and playtime? Idiots. He pointed at us. Today, you'll compete in 8 physical tests to gauge your potential. Whoever comes in last has none, and will be expelled immediately. Mayroon grinned at the challenge. The non-fated of the class gasped in shock at the announcement. The fated all smirked and grinned, remembering the deception that Aizawa was using to motivate everyone to give it their all. Like I said, Aizawa continued, I get to decide how this class runs. Understand, if that's a problem, you can head home right now. Welcome to UA's hero course. The 8 fitness tests: the 50-meter dash, grip strength, the standing long jump, sustained sideways jumps, the ball throw, seated toe, touch, sit-ups, and an endurance run. Alan made the 50-meter dash laughable by simply teleporting the entire distance. Then I came in second, Idata third, and Mayroon fourth. Mayroon completely destroyed the grip strength test with a massive 28,218. 17 pounds, with me coming in second without one for all. The Serena using her tentacles and 7 using blood constructs to enhance his ability. Alan made the standing long jump laughable by sending himself through multiple portals to essentially get an infinite distance, with Mayroon coming in second. At 159.4 feet, myself, second, without tapping into one for all. Then Bakugo. Alan again made the side steps look easy by moving himself back and through portals. Then Mineta, then myself, then Serena. The ball throw test, which had been a highlight in the canon story, now had 2 infinite distances with Alan and Urarka, with me coming in third using my nuclear blast, and Mayroon next with pure, raw force. The seated toe touch had a surprising upset when Aizawa ruled Alan couldn't use his portals for a stretching exercise. The Serena took the top spot, then Asaf, and 7 who used his blood control to help him stretch further. Mayroon did 437 sit-ups. I performed 380. 7 managed 310, while Kirishima clocked in 245. The endurance run was essentially a tie between Mayroon and myself, with Ide taking third and Kirishima taking fourth. In the end, the overall scores for the class had me at the top, with Mayroon second, Alan third, Serena fourth, then 7, Bakugo, Todoroki, Ide Yorozu, Kirishima, Ashido, Asui, Midoriya, T-Priya, Uraga, Kaminari, Jiro, Oyama, and Mineta. When the scores were announced and the class survived its relief from Aizawa, revealing his threat to expel the lowest scoring member, we were told to change back out and get ready for the rest of the day's classes. At the end of the day, Aizawa made sure to emphasize that we should get to rest, because tomorrow we would need it.